2 years ago today. A significant moment, of course, as the US lost against Trindad and Tobago, meaning that they wouldn't qualify for the World Cup in France. Just a reminder of 11, that lost 2-1 against Trindad and Tobago back in 2017. Fast forward it now to the best possible 11.
Ideally.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It'll be arguable whether that was the best possible 11, but that's another point.
Has there been improvement? Is that 11 better than the 11 that failed to qualify for the World Cup?
We don't know, frankly, yet, because they haven't really properly been tested. But what they are doing is bringing through new players like Tyler Adams, who should be a good addition to the team. Weston McKennie, who's a regular for Schalke in the Bundesliga. Pulisic, we know about the talent that he's got. Personally, if I was looking at that 11, I'd go Josh Sargent up top. He plays for Werder Bremen. I think he's got a bit of craft about him and something a little bit different, and he'd come in. So let's see where they can take it with this team. But we won't find out until the World Cup qualifiers and the World Cup itself.
Is it no, the answer?
If it is better, it's marginally better. I don't think so. And that's really, if you are a fan of the U.S. national team, that's a part that you should be concerned about, that you have taken this 2 years, apparently, to try to start a new process and truly take steps forward and improve. Has there been improvement? And you see the team play, and is this team better? As I said before, marginally better, if that, and watch the games and analyze objectively the individual performances and the individual talent that is available out there on the field and compare it to other teams, not only in your area, not only in CONCACAF, but across the world, and tell me whether this U.S. team is truly, truly competitive at the top tier level.
It's tough to answer that. I can't.
Well, they're not at this point.
Yeah,
not yet.
If it takes this long to try and come up with an answer, then it's not an obvious yes.
But I think you've got to place it in a larger context with the USA team. You're talking about a long term. They've lost Howard, Dempsey, Donovan. Bradley's still there, but he's a bit older, past 30 now. So they've lost some key players, and they've not really been able to replace them. And I think they're still in the process of moulding something different. They haven't arrived at the destination yet, I don't think.
They're a long way off.
They're a long way off at the moment, as the Mexico games proved. They're not there yet, but I do think there is some promise in some of those young players who are coming through.
What I would say as well is that you just mentioned Mexico. When you see in those matches between Mexico and the U.S. that we have seen lately, and you see Chucky Lozano take a player in 1v1 situation, and you see Lainez, and you see Raúl Jiménez, and you see the individual talent of those players and compare it to what the U.S. have available, you don't have guys that break somebody down in a 1v1. You just don't see it. You don't see enough of it, and you don't see enough talent across the board to truly say, you know what? Yeah, they're better. I don't think so. And, by the way, they've also departed from what they used to be. Difficult to beat, physical, athletic, good in set pieces. If they're going to beat you and they beat you 1-0, that's fine. They'll take it. Well, they're not that anymore, but they're also not the proactive, passing, creative team because they don't have that makeup in terms of the player personnel available. And so they're sort of an in-between, and that's what their performances look like, an in-between team.
I think you made a good point there. I think
well, thank you.
They've got to be feisty, haven't they? It's got to be that kind of hard-to-beat, over-my-dead body attitude. Maybe they've lost a little bit of that in recent times as well, and that's got to be the basis of it.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPNFC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.